Hello my Beatles friends, welcome back to another video. It's been a while and today we're gonna talk about Magical Mystery Tour album. It's gonna be the press review video, another one in a series. The last one was Abbey Road, if I remember correctly. And today I have enough copies of Magical Mystery Tour album to make a separate video about that. I'm not going to talk about the EP because EP I have already covered in my previous videos. I'm going to talk about the US full album. And a little background, this album was released in late November 1967 and in UK it was released 1 week later, 8th of December 1967. It was released, like I said, as a double EP, but Americans, like they always do, they put all the singles together on one album. The first side of Magical Mystery Tour is the double EP, actually, the 6 songs, and the rest of the album is the singles. Earlier that year, 67, was released Strawberry Fields Forever and Penny Lane. There was another single, Hello Goodbye, I'm the Walrus. Actually, I'm the Walrus appears on the EP. And another single, All You Need Is Love and Baby You're a Rich Man. Instead of releasing separate singles, the Americans, they took all 11 songs and put them in one album. And I think this is one of the wisest decisions that they made. Alright, so I'm going to show you all the albums that I have. We have that much. It's gonna be 12 albums in total. Here we go. 2 copies of USA mono pressing, 2 USA stereo copies. Then we have US US Apple. Then comes 1 Canadian on Target. Then we have 2 British albums pressed in UK. And like I said, in UK this album was released on singles and double EP. It was never issued officially as an album in United Kingdom until 1976. Till then, in UK catalogue, this album was not considered as a full standing album. And only by the late 70s it had a status of official Beatles album. And from then on, in catalogue of the Beatles, it's considered to be official album. These 2 British pressings are from 76 and 78. And in a GoPro mode I will show you specifically what to look for to identify which pressing do you have. It's very easy. Okay, 2 separate British pressings. And then we have 1 pressing that is considered to be the best ever pressing of this album, best sounding pressing. Thanks to Andrew from Polygram Auctions, he mentions that a lot. We have a German press on Herzu label. This one is of course on Apple, and this is the first edition. With this logo, it's a first edition. And once again, I'm going to show that to you also in GoPro mode, but this logo also replicated here. Sometimes people don't notice that and they mix the different logos with different covers. That's a mistake. This is the first pressing, German. It's a matrix number -1-1. The same cover, same label, but this one is -1-3. And Andrew from Polygram Auction says if you have this copy, you are set. Well, I'm set twice. Why? Because I have another one, but it's already with the logo of Apple. This is a 3rd edition. There is also another Herzu label which is rounded, but I don't have it unfortunately. This one is on Apple, and this one is different label, but it's also -1-3. These 2 albums considered to be creme de la creme. And here comes a little surprise. I have this one. This is 2014 mono pressing from the white mono box. Now I don't have the box, I never had it, but I have 5 albums from that box, which is Rubber Soul, Beatles for Sale, Revolver, Mono Masters and Magic. Now this one is sealed. I don't want to open it, and I never opened it, and I don't know what to do. In this video I'm gonna keep it sealed. I'm not gonna use that one in this video, so it's gonna be shown as a bonus. But you tell me in the comment section below, how does this one sound? If it's worth opening it, and if it does, if I get more comments to do so rather than not to do so, I'll maybe make an unboxing in my next videos. I also have, like I said, 3 others which are also sealed, so I'll make a little unboxing, who knows. Tell me in the comment section below how this one sounds. Alright? Okay, so let's go to GoPro mode, and then after that we're gonna come back to this mode and just briefly talk about the sound, which pressing I think sounds the best. And most probably you already guessed that this one is gonna be very high. But let's see. Start with the first one, which is American Mono. The first thing that I want to mention here is that look at the gap here on top. This gap on top is a giveaway if we have a mono or stereo. On the back here, my copy is not in the best shape, fortunately. But here we have the indication that this mono, it's MAL2835, and the stereo has S. It's SMAL, okay? Now, the inside of all of them looks the same. We have here 24-page booklet. The booklet is intact, but unfortunately the glue here dried out, so it fell off. Well, that could be a very good thing. Another thing that you have to pay attention to is that here on the song I Am the Walrus, No You're Not sometimes is handwritten type. There are different versions of this one. I think I have a different version and I will show. So I'm going to show you the booklet only in one pressing because all the booklets are the same, identical. All the papers here, all the pages are intact, nothing torn, but unfortunately they're not binded together. I removed the bindings. Okay, so I'm the Walrus. Here's the comics. And that's it. And here we have the list of the songs. Magical Mystery Tour, Full on the Hill, Blue Jay Way, Your Mother Should Know, I'm the Walrus. These songs are in the movie. The rest of the songs, Hello, Goodbye, Strawberry Fields, Penny Lane, Baby Richmond, All In This Love, are the singles. And I think American market capital made... It's one of the best decisions that they made. I mean, I personally don't like American albums because they are butchered. But this one was one of the best decisions. That was the cover. Now, most of the covers, they're identical, so I'm not gonna go deeper into the covers, only the catalog number, sometimes it's an lower right corner, sometimes it's upper right corner, but I'll show it to you. So the spine here says capital, catalog number, mono, the title of the album, and the band. All right, so that's about the cover. Now, the first mono pressing, the record. Here it is. So we have a rainbow capital label. We have here the catalog number, a list of songs, title of the album, and the name of the band. That's it. Now, the second copy that I want to show, it's identical. It's also mono. You see the gap here is almost missing. And we have here a sticker that says specially imported by EMI Records, the Gramophone Company Limited, under license from an payment royalty to the British copyright owners contracted. So I think that was imported from America to UK. So once again, here we have catalog number, which is mono, and identical spine. And here we also have the booklet. Now, if you pay attention, the booklet here is glued, and that caused the damage. So we have a page here which is torn, which is bad. In my previous copy, I think it was a good thing that it fell off. All right, No other differences, so we move on. And here we have another mono record, which is absolutely identical to the first one. Right? Next, here is a stereo one. And look at the gap. The gap is an indication that it's a stereo. So the picture is a bit zoomed out. Now, spine, we have stereo here instead of mono here. We have a stereo here on this side. Title of the album, the band, capital logo, and the catalog number. And the catalog number on the back side is on the top right corner, as I mentioned before. Let's open the gatefold. And somebody did me a favor and glued this thing here to the booklet, which of course I'm not gonna touch. But the booklet is intact, it's binded, and thank God this glue dried again. Okay? And still here we have "You Are Not" printed. Let's look at the record. And the record says SMAL, which is stereo, and we also have the stereo indication here. No other differences. Now, we have another capital stereo. One interesting thing, "You Are Not" is printed as a handwritten. Here we don't have anything, no glue, no binding, but still the booklet is torn. You see, as usual, this part of the booklet is always damaged. This one I believe is a bit later pressing because the colors here are brighter and the printing is blurry. As a printing error, it's a misprint. If you look closer here, you can see the same image a bit moved, and the faces are blurry. So I believe this is a later pressing. And let's look at the label. The label is absolutely identical to the previous one. Another American pressing, but this one already is on Apple. It's not a capital one, it's an Apple. And you can see that the back cover doesn't have the white trim here. Yeah, you can see the gap, and also without white trim. And the catalog number is SMAL without capital logo. And let's go inside. And once again, we have here "No, You're Not" handwritten printing. Now, somebody here also removed the glue and left some damages. And once again, the book here is also damaged. As usual, let's look at the label, which is already an Apple. Magical Mystery Tour, the Beatles, the song listing, the catalog, the same catalog number actually. And that's the side B. Next one, we have Canadian pressing. It says here printed in Canada, this one here. Now, we do have a white trim and we have a gap here, and we have a capital logo, something that we didn't have on the American pressings. And also, once again, we have here manufactured and distributed in Canada by Capitol Records Canada Limited, white trim. And the interesting thing is that these covers, they are glued, pasted over the white cardboard, just like the butcher cover was done. That's interesting thing. You can actually peel this one off, and I wonder what's underneath, but I'm not gonna do that. Now here, the booklet, and "You Know You're Not" is printed as a normal fonts, and the booklet is once again glued here inside, and once again it's fell apart. What can I do about it? Now the spine says "Litho in Canada," capital, catalog number, stereo, and the title. All right. Next one. The label. It's a Canadian Target label, I believe. So you American and Canadian guys help me out here, I might make a mistake. Manufactured and distributed in Canada by Capitol Records Canada. So we have the same catalog number, SMAL2835. Actually, I was really lucky to find this one in a decent shape. Yeah, it's some marks, but plays great. Here we're coming to my favorite country present, the British one. Now, the British one is really interesting to observe. Here we have No You're Not, and the British has the binding from the cover. It's not glued as an American, and it's in a better shape than this one. And the interesting thing is that on the booklet itself we have the catalog number. Now this one is a bit flimsy and the paper is very thin, so this is a second press. Now I'm gonna put one by one and I'm gonna show you how to distinguish the first and the second British pressing. Now this is how it looks like. At that time in 70s, in 76 or 78, that was the design of the label. It's 2 EMI logos, Parlophone, PCTC, this is the catalog number, and the rest looks pretty much the same. Now, if we look at the first pressing of British, which is a cardboard thicker paper, it's it has only one difference, that the paper is thick. The rest is absolutely identical. And one more thing here, I removed the bindings, but the rest is intact, and we have here No You're Not printed as a handwriting type. The interesting here is that, now look here, two absolutely identical at the first side records, but the text here starts at 8, something like that. And here the text starts at 7 o'clock. So that's the difference already. Now above the EMI box we have a word performance. And here the word performance we have a bit further. Which means that this one is a first pressing and this one is a later pressing. And if you look at the color, the black here is real black. And here the black is kind of brownish. Now the record here, both records are, thin, flimsy records. But this is a giveaway how to distinguish the British first pressing from 1976. By EMI record starts on 8 o'clock. And here the text, it doesn't start with EMI. It starts with all rights of the producer and of the owner. The texts are different and they start from different point. If you have all rights and starts with 7, it's a second press. And if you have EMI Records Limited and starts with 8 o'clock, it's a first press. German, completely different cover. Here we have Apple, but here we also have the first edition of Herzu Langspielplatte logo, which is a big red logo. And here on the back we have George and John. Why we don't have Ringo and Paul, I have no idea. But here Apple presents, and this is the logo SHZE327 stereo. And let's look at the logo, label. Here on the label we have the same type of logo, same catalog number, and the matrix here is -1-1. If we look at the second copy of the same cover, absolutely identical. It's also the same kind of logo. The type of logo here changes. Unfortunately, I do not have the second type. I have only this type and the Apple. This is also, no, this one is -1-3 type. And this cover, Apple here, Apple from here is removed, of course. We have an Apple here. We have a different catalog number here on the back. And the label is also completely different. We don't have a Herzu logo here, and we have a different catalog number, and we have a brighter colored Apple. If you compare the colors, this one is plain white, and this one is a bit grayish. That's the only difference. Now this one is also -1-3 type. Okay, that's the differences. That's how you distinguish the first, the second, the third, American, and the mono stereo. Now let's go back to the normal mode and let's discuss the sound. Like I said, I never go deep into technical details and diagrams. I'm just making my notes on what I hear, what differences I hear, and okay. Since I have two mono copies and two stereo which are identical, I consider them as one. So I'm going to be talking about 9 copies. The Germans are all different, although they have same metrics, but they're different pressings. The mono US copy, I was least impressed, I have to say. The vocals and music are centered. The bass is high, but the vocals, the front, is a bit faded, you know. So I hear more the bass rather than high frequencies. I think I can hear that even on the loudest level of my speakers and the maximum bass, you know, the high frequencies are a bit cut. Giving it 7 out of 10. I have to say that with this pressing I was least impressed. The stereo press on Rainbow Capital label is a bit better. Vocals and the music are separated. The vocals are coming from the left channel, the music from the right. The bass is low, a little bit low. The vocals and the high frequencies are kind of good, not faded. High frequencies are also once again a bit cut, you know, not as loud. Well, I'm comparing them to the German ones. The German ones are the best. We know that. That's not a surprise. And in comparison to the Germans, the Americans are a bit lowered. If I'm using the same setup, I can hear that Germans are much higher. So here I can say that high frequencies are also cut. But it's much better than the mono pressing. So I give it 8 out of 10. The stereo on Apple is even better. I still give it 8 out of 10, but it's even better because you can hear the high frequencies better, louder. I had to lower my volume a bit because it's so loud. So high frequencies are okay. The bass is a bit lowered. It's not that interrupting as is on the mono. The vocals and music are separated as well. So nice copy, decent copy. So I hesitate on the stereo Apple one. I hesitate between 8 and 9. It's a very good pressing. I was impressed. Stereo Canada. I was not impressed. Music and vocals separated, but vocals are faded. They are lowered. High frequencies are lowered and the bass is much higher. Give it between 6 and 7 out of 10. Now, stereo UK first press. A big improvement, I have to say. Very loud and high frequencies are there. The bass is also there. The lower frequencies are also not cut, but the sound is much cleaner. Sound is much better. So I give it 9 out of 10. Then we're talking about stereo UK second. Not far away. Louder also, high frequencies are okay, the basses are okay. I mean, I should have considered them as one pressing, but no, they are different. So I also give it 9 out of 10. I mean, I have nothing against it. Now we're talking about the Germans. The Germans, like I said, are indeed the best pressings, and I compared everything to the Germans. And listening to both Herzu labels and Apple label with matrices -1, -3, yeah, I have to say they are getting 10 out of 10, definitely, without any doubt, because you can hear the high frequencies, everything is there. It's very loud. Once again, I had to lower my volume a bit because it was too loud. And high frequencies are there. The bass is also okay. You can clearly, it's very clean, very nice sound. So yeah, I have to give the -1, -3 copy. I give it 10 out of 10. It's the number 1. And the stereo German copy with -1, -1. Instruments are a bit high on the second side, on side B. I was listening mostly the Hello Goodbye, the fade out, this sound of music, this loud, you know, collection of sounds, hey la, you know. So yeah, I can clearly hear that instruments are a bit higher, and there is There is a difference between dash 1 and dash 3. Stereo German pressings are highly recommended, and it still gets 10 out of 10 according to my taste. So my ranking is the Germans all three number 1, the British first and second, or number 2, second place, then Stereo Apple on 3rd place, then US Stereo 4th place, Mono 5th place, and Stereo Canada is the last. I was least impressed with the Canadian pressing. Alright? First of all, I listened to the Germans, and then I listened to all the others, and you can clearly hear the difference. This is my, casual listener's notes without going deep into the technical details. And thank you very much. I think the next video I'm gonna do about it is gonna be a Yellow Submarine. I do have at least 6 copies of Yellow Submarine, including British mono and stereo, Hungarian, German. I have a lot of pressings, and yeah, I think I'll try to make it as soon as possible. And the next one, the last one, will be Let It Be, and after that, let's see what happens. Alright, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new, and you can identify the copy that you want to find. Thank you very much. Bye bye.